Hey guys, so this is my video on good and bad puzzles in Prismata. I'm here to talk about first the best puzzle in Prismata, the Thunderhead Redeemer Challenge. This video contains spoilers on the solutions, so don't watch this video until you solve them. Okay, so this puzzle is interesting because it is an optimization puzzle. It is not so much a puzzle about knowing what to do. You're just trying to optimize your opening. So you might go, okay, Doom Drone is the best line. This is actually losing, by the way. Secretly, this is losing. So you go, what's my end goal? Right? And you might try a couple things, but you go, eventually you decide, you know what? I need to get a Redeemer and into a Thunderhead. Right? You go, I want to get my Thunderhead here. Say, when you do this, you go, my Thunderhead is light, right? Because I'm doing damage, but they're already going to crush me. So you get really frustrated and you go, I need to build a Thunderhead on turn 4 in order to win this challenge. So, in order to build a Thunderhead on turn 4, you go through the options and you start off by looking at, okay, maybe you continue with this opening. You go, okay, so I need GGGG, so you can go C, C, GD, and you go, okay, Bossforge Conduit, right? You want to get there. But as you note, you're 2 golds short. So you go, well, okay. Conduit doesn't work. And Bossforge, so you want to do again, maybe you go, maybe this opening wasn't good. Right, because this conduit early will get you the fifth green you need. You go, okay. I still need the 3rd conduit. And here we need a Blast Forge and 15 gold. So you go Blast Forge, single Doom Drum because it's free. And from here, right, it's just smooth sailing. Now there's a tricky part here because you note that you have. So here's the other tricky part of the puzzle. You note that 10 is a magic number. So you kill this Tarsier. Okay. You note that this Tarsier does not do anything at this point. He's completely worthless. It's still not attacking for 10. So you go, okay, killing an Isocronus, you can kill a Gauss Cannon. You might go, well, something like that. Right, because you want to kill the ISO that's actually attacking. Next turn. You note that you're just exactly 1 short of breaking. So you go, well, okay, boom. You know that you're just exactly 1 short of breaking. Okay, Redeemer. Boom. Second Redeemer. Double Doom Drone. So far you're like, and notice that in this puzzle we haven't actually we want to kill the double ISOs to prevent them breaking us with a wall and the Doom Drone to keep ourselves alive. And you might consider blocking with the Doom, and you probably want to block with the Doom Drone here to stay alive. It actually doesn't matter at this position, you've won. But this puzzle is great because from here, right, you had a very sharp tactical line that you had to take and understand how to implement properly in order to win. It added this sharp tactical line that you had to implement properly in order to win. And it's really satisfying to actually beat it. But it's also noteworthy that there was no weird counterintuitive thing. We're just going through motion by motion. You're just going through the motions and trying to understand the actual puzzle, which was, beat the countdown, right? The actual goal of this puzzle was beat the countdown. But you actually have to. So this position you just win, and there's actually quite a few ways you can win. And this is the one bad part of this puzzle, I'd say, is how long it takes for you to actually win the game. Once you've beaten the challenge part, which is the first 5 turns optimization puzzle, and then doing the part in round turn. I'm not going to let this finish. But once you've finished, once you're at here, once you've gotten to here, you've won. It's just building walls and force fields and blitzing down the Gauss cannons. And then you spend 8 more turns just, going through the motions and actually beating the puzzle. So that's the primary criticism I'll have with that puzzle. It was good, but had that issue. Now, the worst build Prismata puzzle is the cluster conundrum puzzle. This puzzle is extremely evil. Only the puzzle I just showed you, which was about understanding some little bin packing problem, and also understanding sort of a turn optimization sequence. This puzzle is going to be based around a different sort of problem, which is breaking your intuition about the game. So you want to do this. Now, the line that 99% of us will take is this one, right? I suspect 99% will take that as their first line. And sort of, this is a losing line. Go, well, I can double. And you try to do some shenanigans, and maybe you try things like this to avoid things. But ultimately, you fail just barely. And because you just barely fail, you think you just made an optimization mistake, when in reality your whole strategy was completely flawed from the beginning. And so you'll try 5 million different variants of this. You'll try spamming cluster bolts. You'll try, all these sorts of things, because you're I'm just one off. I must have made a tiny little error in my optimization. I must have made a tiny little mistake when I decided to go for a cluster bolt rather than going for a thing. I must have made a mistake in my Gauss charge timings. I should have, maybe if I, right, because you're literally exactly one off, so you think you just made a tiny optimization mistake. So I won't go through 5 million variants of this, but I'm also going to go through sort of what many people might actually do as well is just spam cluster bolts. So they'll do that, that. And again, they get to exactly one off lethal. You know, they get lethal one turn before they do. And you'll note, oh, I had 3. Maybe if I, did a round of 4 Gauss charges instead, maybe that would have worked, because you just think that you're just exactly one off. It must be some tiny little optimization mistake. So the reality is that the correct way to play this puzzle is here. And you have to think in terms of bin packing, right? The weakness of this line, right, is that if you do the math, you need exactly 20 green to kill all of these Gauss cannons. So you have to do that math. And you may notice that green is that 20 is a multiple of 4. So what that means is that you have 2 wasted green in this opening, in this strategy. Once you realize that, you go, okay, you're wasting 2 green, and that causes you to lose. You might eventually, after banging your head against this for a long time, try a single conduit. Just let this fire. Right. You might either go like that, or you do this. Right, and then from here, this puzzle is actually beatable. I think you're actually not supposed to really go straight there. I think this was let this fire. Anyways, from here you actually beat the puzzle, and most lines, if I remember correctly, were winning from this position. There's like most cluster bullet or Gauss and or Gauss charge baselines were winning from this position. And you get some nice synergies. But again, this is another case of this is that you go, well, X is a multiple of Y, X is not a multiple of Z. And that's why you win or lose. Right. And then you just barely win. It's because of the counting to 20 game, which works. So this puzzle is very frustrating because virtually every single person who looks at this puzzle will think either double conduit or zero conduit. They won't think about this because of the quantum effects. So this is a puzzle about quantum effects rather than being a puzzle about what I would refer to as macro decisions. Whereas the Thunder Demon challenge was just a puzzle about going, okay, I need to hit the Thunderhead on that turn, on turn 4. Let's try to like work my way around that. Let's do the counting to get there. Okay, now that I got the Thunderhead, how do I get my next step? How do I keep the Thunderhead alive? So you'll go, okay, I need to prevent them from doing 10. Well, that Tarsier doesn't do anything. And I do exactly 7, so I kills exactly the 2 Isochronus. Okay, that will do exactly 10, so I survive. And obviously you get overwhelmed after that. But that's the kind of good puzzle, because it had more than just, bit packed, right? It had substance, it had decision making, it had ideas. You had to think about like exactly how to do damage and whatever. This puzzle, meanwhile, is, do you understand how to count to 20? Can you count to 20 green correctly? Do you understand exactly how to count to 20? No more, no less. Do you understand exactly all these things? Do you understand exactly why this puzzle? And this puzzle does not create any, redeemable qualities other than it being a puzzle. The Thunder Demon challenge at least gives you some interesting insights as to the nature of delay tactics, as to the nature of damage, as to the nature of non-proc defenders, as to the nature of counting to 11, or if you're the attacker, counting to 10. Whereas this, the only thing you learn is, Elyot has 150 IQ, and I have 120 IQ. That's what I feel like this puzzle is. You just gotta accept that you're stupid as a developer. The developer is intending this to be impossible. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys later.